A study group. Ricky was good at everything. He had always gotten A's in all his classes. He excelled in all subjects and never had any trouble with the material. This year, he was taking calculus. This was a subject he had never taken before. He was struggling a lot, and did not understand the material. His teacher handed his first test back. Ricky was shocked at his score. He had failed the test. It was his first time to fail anything. Ricky did not know what to do. He did not want to ask for help, because he did not know how. This was his first time struggling, and he had no idea how to approach his problem. He started by talking to the teacher. He asked the teacher if there was a mistake or if there was any way he could retake the test. The teacher explained to him that it was reasonable that he did not do well on the first test. She gave a list of books and websites that may help him and also referred him to some tutors. Another suggestion she made was to reach out to friends and form a study group. He liked the idea of a study group, because he felt more comfortable asking his friends for help. He asked his friends if they would like to form a study group. They loved the idea. They also were relieved since they were also struggling with calculus. They decided to meet twice a week at their school's library. They did homework together and went through each problem step by step. Before the next test, they studied extra long. They did several practice problems and helped each other along the process. Perhaps Ricky would not get everything correct on the next test, but he felt more confident. Homecoming Queen. Deborah is running for homecoming queen at the high school she just transferred to a few days ago. Deborah and Sarah put up posters. The poster had a picture of Deborah with her list of accomplishments and characteristics. Deborah was a pageant contestant a couple of years ago, a 4.0 student, and a volunteer at the animal shelter. Classmates came up to Deborah after school to tell her how great she was. Deborah thanked them. Sarah came up to Deborah after school. "Hi, I'm Sarah. Look, I wanted to give you some advice. I think you should drop out of the homecoming race. You're a new student," she said. "I know, and I think that this is a great opportunity to get to meet people. I've already met so many people since running for homecoming queen," Deborah said. "Don't say I didn't warn you," Sarah said. Deborah wore a long gold dress to homecoming. Her parents were so proud of her and they took a lot of pictures of their daughter. Deborah went to homecoming with Kimberly and some other friends. The homecoming dance was inside the gym. It was decorated nicely. Deborah danced with her friends. A guy asked Deborah to dance, but she said no. Later, the principal came out on the stage. He was going to announce the homecoming queen and king. "Your homecoming queen is Deborah," he said. Deborah was happily surprised. People cheered for her and said kind words. Sarah rolled her eyes and left the dance. Deborah went up to the stage and made a speech about taking chances. She was off to a good start at her new school. Puberty, and the voice crack. Alan is 13 years old. He is going through puberty. Puberty is when kids start to become mature and experience many physical and emotional changes. Alan already hit his growth spurt. He was very tall. Now, he was just waiting for his voice to deepen. Before the voice deepens, it will crack. His voice will sound high-pitched. In Alan's English class, his teacher would have students do popcorn reading. Popcorn reading is when one student reads and then calls on another student to continue reading. Alan was eventually called on. He started to read the sentence. He noticed that his voice came out all high-pitched. It sounded like he had a sore throat. His classmates started laughing at him. "What happened to your voice?" they joked. Alan was so embarrassed. He sunk into his chair and put his jacket hood over his head. After class, the teacher went to Alan to talk to him. The teacher said Alan should not feel embarrassed. Voice cracking happens to everyone. Alan still felt pretty bad about it. For the next few days, word got around about Alan's voice. People kept asking him to talk, but Alan wouldn't. He just stayed quiet. Even when teachers called on him to read or asked him a question, he just wrote it down. Getting bored of the fish. Jacqueline lives in an apartment with two of her friends. The landlord does not allow them to have pets. Jacqueline was disappointed by this because she always wanted to have a dog. Her roommate Wanda suggested that they get a fish. A fish would be easy to take care of. They never had to worry about the landlord finding out because there were no video cameras inside their apartment. Jacqueline bought the fish from a pet store. It came in a plastic bag. She put the plastic bag in another bag. That way the landlord would never know even if she watched the security camera that is in the hallway. Jacqueline and Wanda named the fish Coach after the famous handbag brand. Jacqueline and Wanda took very good care of Coach. They fed him properly and cleaned his tank when they needed to. They took a lot of pictures with the fish, too. After a couple of weeks, however, they started to get bored of their fish. A fish is not like a dog. You can't run with it or pet it or dress it up. Neither Jacqueline nor Wanda wanted to take care of it. "It's your turn to feed him," Wanda yelled. "Uck. Fine," Jacqueline said. Jacqueline and Wanda made their third roommate take care of the fish while they went on vacation. When they came back, they found Coach dead. They felt bad, but they didn't care that much. The school dress code. Liberty High School decided to enforce a dress code. Up until now everyone could wear whatever they wanted. Students started taking advantage of this. Boys were sagging their pants and wearing shirts with bad words on them. Girls were showing their belly button and wearing shorts that were too short. The principal made the announcement about the dress code in the auditorium. All the students were upset. "This is ridiculous," someone yelled. "Quiet down or else you will get detention," Principal Baker said. Principal Baker showed the students the uniform. The girls had to wear a white collared shirt with a red skirt. The boys had to wear a white polo shirt with red slacks. The boys and girls had to wear the same white shoes, too. The students were disgusted. "If you have long hair, you need to wear your hair up," the principal said. The girls were furious. "Piercings and tattoos are not allowed either," Principal Baker added. "What if we already have a tattoo? I can't remove it," a student shouted. "That is fine. Just do your best to hide it," Principal Baker said. Principal Baker thought everyone would be in uniform the next day. Instead, everyone was protesting. Students were carrying signs that said "no uniforms" and wearing inappropriate clothes. Principal Baker called everyone into the auditorium. "I am demanding everyone to call their parents to bring them their uniform. If you do not do this, you will be suspended," Principal Baker said. The students knew how bad a suspension looked on their records. They did what Principal Baker demanded and wore their uniform every day since.